Hi, my name's Maria. Welcome to my channel MH Books after a very long break. I'm filming this without much preparation, so it's going to be a casual Friday reads, filmed on a Friday but not uploaded until Saturday because my upload speeds are crap. I decided to start this video with a few shots of what the week was like. So yeah, I'm Irish, you're going to get mostly just weather shots, but a couple of springtime hopefuls in there, hopefully. Today was a day. I have my coffee from this morning. It is now about 5:45 in the evening. I do have to finish this quickly because I do have to go to my parents for Friday night dinner. But this is my coffee from this morning. I left it behind. It's still warm because of the flask. Got into work. So I bought a takeaway coffee because I've forgotten my coffee. I hadn't had any coffee. Bought a takeaway coffee. Walk out the door. Windy and rainy. The lid blows off because Maria can't put the lid on takeaway cups. Walk into work and there's two people mopping up the whole kitchen because the coffee machine decided in work it was going to explode. So nearly had coffee all day. Had to go back to the coffee shop and get more because I wasn't going to survive. So that was my Friday. How was yours? Or your Saturday when by the time you see this. It's very handy the way this stays warm, and because I drink it black, it stays warm longer. By the way, when the coffee cup spilled this morning, boiling black coffee, not good on your hands, and a bit different. So I'm making this a very casual Friday reads. I'm ever shut up and actually talk about books. What I was reading this week, again, Friday reads. I'm always late. Posted on a Saturday. So what I was reading. Okay, these bookshelves are now double stacked since the last time you've seen them. And the order is completely gone too. There is no room, so I had to put things up here. So what am I currently reading? I'm still only this much through. We haven't seen anything, sorry. In real life people know this. I'm only this much through Wolfhall. It is my second reading, so I could go to my book club. But I'm determined to read it in hard copy. Last time I listened to it, I do recommend listening to it. Wolfhall is an experience that it is, everybody in it's called Thomas. It's part of the joke. I'm not explaining it terribly well because I assume most people know because it's very popular at the moment in BookTube again because Hilary is about to release a new book next week or the week after in the trilogy, and because it won the Booker. It's very detailed in that there's a lot of people and most of them are called Thomas. Thomas is an ongoing joke in it because this is a story of Thomas Cromwell as told through his eyes. He's always he in the book, and so when it's he said, it's Thomas Cromwell says, and when Thomas says, it's another one of those Thomases. Okay. I was familiar with the history because I'd watched it a lot more in mini-series and things like that than the actual studying of history. I did study it a little bit. Ireland would study, because Ireland would have been part of the UK during this era, so we did study a little bit of it. But we have a whole lot of our own history as well to study, so we kind of skimmed over it, or maybe that was just me, I was 13. But I do think it does help to know a little bit about the history and what's going on before reading this. I think there is an awful lot of people in it, but what you do is it's kind of stream of consciousness writing in a way, and you just let go and let it happen and just know that he is Thomas Cromwell, and there's only 2 or 3 really important characters and you're gonna know who they are pretty quickly in it, and just follow it. I've not actually read Bringing Up the Bodies, which I think is on this bookshelf yet. I've never read that one, so I'm going to have to read this before Mirror in the Light. But Mirror in the Light is not available in my library at the moment, and I'm not buying it because it's longer than this one. I am not buying it in hardback or in a larger size paperback than this. It's too big. I don't have room on my bookshelf. Sorry. The other things I've been reading is I've been doing some Scottish crime fiction reading because I'm busy in work and I wanted something light. So the first one I read was Song of the Dead, which is a D.I. Westphal crime series, and this is the first book. It is good. It has a little bit of magical realism, and that he's a super sensitive guy, and he may or may not be able to see ghosts. People have a way of just opening themselves up to him. I particularly enjoyed, you know, the descriptions of driving around Scotland, because they remind me of living in Scotland. But again, crime fiction, when it's police procedural, can be a little bit boring for me. So I enjoyed the character, but I was a little bit bored of police procedural. So I picked up another police procedural, Eye for an Eye. But this case, it was filmed in, it could have been filmed in, it might be filmed in the future. It's based in St. Andrews. St. Andrews is a small town which has 3 main streets, South, North and Market Street, and all the little windy streets that cross it. A lot of pubs, a lot of cafes. This author particularly enjoys hanging around St. Andrews, so he set his crime there. He happens to have set it in the very year that was my first year of my PhD at St. Andrews. Myself and Prince William both went to the same hall of residence, and yes, we did meet on a couple of occasions. It is quite normal. It's a very small town. It's a very small university, so yes, we did. Because people ask that, yes, we did. And yeah, there's a serial murder, and obviously the Queen is a little bit now upset, like there's a serial murder. But the serial murder is killing middle-aged men, so Prince William's perfectly fine. And I swear to you, it wasn't me. I swear it wasn't me. And I did manage to do a complete cover-up. This one I found a little bit more fun than the first one. It should have been a bit more up my alley. Now, I was reading it because I love St. Andrews. But it's actually just a little bit faster paced. This is not literary fiction. I do read crime genre. That is definitely more literary. This is just narrative. There's this thing. I have it's just like the thrill of this, the thrill of that. There's about 2 or 3 different extra subplots to the main serial killer going on. Guessed the serial killer from the beginning, but I do remember, I think it was Simon Savage or somebody said that a good crime book should be able to actually work it out. If you're not able to work it out, as in, yes, you can be surprised, but you kind of go, oh, I should have picked up on that. But if the clues aren't there, it's kind of cheating, like, you know what I mean? If they happen to walk into something that tells them about who the real killer is. So it was enjoyable from that sense. You tell it's been a while since I've spoken about books except to people, and it's like, you gotta read this because it's really good. So this leads me on to my little mini book haul for this week, because it's a quick catch up. So mini book haul for this week, and again, double stacked. I've nowhere to put things. Where did I decide to put them? I put them in the logical place, which was down here, because it's where they go to books and the author. So I bought the second book in the St. Andrews series. So that is Hand for a Hand by T.F. Muir. These are quite cheap, which is why I picked up the first one in the Works, if anybody's in the UK or Ireland, because Ireland has the Works as well. It is a UK shop. And I bought the third book actually in the D.I. Westphal because I'm giving him more than a second chance. It is still based in Scotland, and he does have a little darkness to him in that he is super sensitive. So this is the third one that was in the Works. I couldn't get the second one, so I might pick up the second one from the library and then give the second and the third in the series a chance. So that was one teeny tiny bit in the mini book haul. And the other bit that I bought today is, where did I put it? It's up here. Sorry. Oh! Could have broken something there. Oops. Yeah, that's not the one I got. A good book, I'm sure. I picked up a couple of books from the Irish book novel section in the Oxfam bookshop. So we have The Real Charlotte by C. Sommerville and Martin Ross. These are actually two women writing. Now it says it's a brilliant bittersweet Victorian Ireland novel. The ones I know would probably be more Edwardian, so maybe on the cusp of Victorian and Edwardian. The two cousins, two women writers who wrote together. They're Anglo-Irish, and this is actually considered by them their finest work, and it's more of a love story. I'm really not used to talking about books at the moment. They are famous for the Irish RM. I believe Sean the Book Maniac did DNF that book, but he DNFs everything, so this is a book that I've been meaning to read for ages. It was only €3 in the Oxtown Bookshop, and the Oxtown Bookshop can be quite expensive actually. And then the other one I got was the Misremembered Man, to prove that even though I don't normally like romance as a genre, there's always going to be an exception, so I'm hoping this might be the exception. And this is one that's based in 1974 in rural Ireland, and it's about a farmer, Jamie, who has a cavalier attitude to personal hygiene, who tries to date Lydia Devine, who's a rector's daughter and prim school teacher. So and it's supposedly it's more of a story on how the farmer Jamie misses a simpler life or something like that. It's a beautifully rendered portrait of rural life. It's lights with its cast of authentic characters and gentle humour. So I'm going to try a little bit of Irish romance that's actually genuine. The video is now 12 minutes, which is actually surprisingly good for me. So I'll finish off with what I'm going to be reading next week. And I've just been on Voxer with Amy at Zoe Beck, so reading with Amy at Zoe Beck and Bishop's The Jules trilogy. Again, I got this in the Oxtown Bookshop. I think this is actually an American edition. I don't know, it's quite difficult to actually get Anne Bishop books in Ireland, or maybe it's just not that popular, I don't know, to be honest. And I've forgotten how to talk. We're going to be reading Daughter of the Blood, which is the first book in the trilogy. I don't actually know much about it. I read the first of the other series, and I do enjoy her writing style. So I've read Written in Blood. I do have the next two as well, which I don't know why I'm talking about this, but they're just here. Murder of Crows and Vision in Silver. Vision in Silver counts to the Pop Sugar Challenge because it says silver, because it's for the Pop Sugar Challenge 2020. It's Olympics year, so it's gold, bronze, or silver in the thing. So if I read this, I can count to a challenge. That literally, because I do enjoy her writing. So I'm looking forward to that. I think we're still arranging what we're going to do. I think so. It'll be over the course of the week. Amy has invited anybody who wants to read along with us, and just in case anybody does. It'll probably be about 54 pages a day. I'm putting this up way too late for that kind of thing, but just in case, I'm sure that Amy Zoe Beck will be reading the second and third book, because she really does like this writer, and she'll probably be reading them pretty quickly. So probably the week after next. Hopefully she has that good writing experience. Okay, reading experience. I can't even talk. Okay, I'm going to finish up because I want to keep this under 15 minutes, which is phenomenally good for me. I hope whatever you're reading that you're enjoying it. Comment about anything you like down below. What's the weather like where you are? Do you have to have, I know if you're in the UK or in Ireland, obviously, you've had nothing but rain and wind for weeks now, and we're going to have 2 more weeks. 2 more weeks. It's just so unfair. Oh well. Until next time, bye now. Should I read read nothing but Irish books in March. That'll make doing March the Mammoths a bit difficult because I don't think I have any that are over 800.